Hey everyone, this is Karen Waksman, founder of Retail MBA. Today I want to talk about the 5 reasons chain store buyers are not calling you back. Now, the reason I decided to create this particular training segment is because I've personally taught over 100,000 people across the globe on how to get your products into stores with my company called Retail MBA. If you want to learn more, you can go to the bottom of this video and take a look at our free trainings and so forth. But basically, we are a retail consultancy helping people learn the strategies on how to generate millions of dollars with their consumer products brands in a fraction of the time and cost. And with that said, let's talk about the 5 reasons retailers are not calling you back. So reason number 1 is you are basically showing them a product they've seen before in a million different ways. So let me explain. When you are reaching out to a buyer, the first thing she's going to be doing is taking a look at how you're presenting the product. If you're not annoying, the way that you lay out the reach out, but also she wants to know about your product. She'll take a look at your website. She'll take a look at what's going on in the world if there's any interest whatsoever. It's kind of like capturing her interest right away. The problem with most people is that there's a lot of products out there that everyone is selling the same thing of. And so she's seen it. So she doesn't really care about your product because she's looking for something a little bit interesting for her audience. And so you can make almost any product interesting. Inventors did not usually come up with some totally brand new invention. It's a new version of an existing product. Generally, a lot of stuff has been created in the world. And the bottom line is she's looking for something a little bit newer and a little bit cooler. So she might not be calling you back because it's just not that fascinating of a product for her. Doesn't mean it's not great for somebody else. And it also could be your strategy, which is number 2. The reason that maybe a retailer is not calling you back is because you have not thought through your strategy enough when you're reaching out to a particular retailer. When people think about going to chain stores, they're thinking about their top 3 favorite retailers typically. If you have a product from the home goods business, you're probably reaching out to Home Depot or Ace Hardware or whatever it is for you, Lowe's, and so forth. If you have a consumer electronics product, maybe you're reaching out to Best Buy or some consumer electronics store. If you have a discounted product, Walmart, Target, you get my point. The bottom line is you guys usually have these top 3 favorite retailers you want to sell to. The problem with that strategy is that everybody else has that same strategy. Going after retailers that not everybody's selling to initially could get you in the door of some of these retail chains. Why? Because they like proof of concept. If you are a new company, or maybe you haven't sold anywhere before, or they're just not sure about your product, if it's going to convert. They love it when you sell stuff. So if you can stop thinking that you made a mistake in creating this product by going after these top 3 retailers, which everyone else is trying to sell to because they're rejecting you all over the place, that could be the difference between them contacting you back and not, because you maybe explored other strategies that got you beyond what everybody else is doing. Basically, you're doing what your competitors are doing, and it's probably not working for you, which is why companies like mine exist, where we actually teach you all the different strategies on how to make money with a consumer product brand. It's fascinating how just one slight tweak can make you so much more money just by you sincerely understanding the various strategies available to you. So that's another reason why retailers aren't calling you back. The next reason is that you might love your product, but nobody else does, meaning your clients are not buying it. Like, you are seriously putting your products in stores and no one's buying it, and a retailer cares about that. And so there are ways to combat that, to ensure that a product will sell. We teach a variety of different marketing strategies once you get an order from a chain store. Whatever it is, she's going to dig around and see what people are saying about your product and if it's actually selling. Unfortunately, with the internet age, people actually can find your information pretty easily online, and she can smell out whether or not a product is going to make her any money or not. And that does make a difference between you succeeding and getting a call back or not. She can tell that it's not converting, it's not selling. Another concern that a retailer has when they're looking at your product is whether or not your shipping is completely off. So some people are trying to save a couple dollars by shipping a product by boat, even if it's a tiny little product that doesn't cost that much. Why? Because they're trying to make as much money as possible. That doesn't really work with chain stores, because by the time she gets the product and places it in her store, it's like months and months out if you're shipping it in a certain way that is not conducive to a deal with a retailer. Now, I understand you're dealing with pricing costs and all sorts of issues, especially now more than ever after the whole COVID nightmare, all of the things. I get it. There are workarounds to this, and you do not want to get greedy when you're working with chain stores in that you're trying to save some money, and in the end, she's not going to call you back because she's looking at the fact that you want to ship out a product to her that's going to be so far out, she's not going to make any money, or she can't put it on the shelves when she needs it. And again, there's strategies around that. People like Retail MBA that can support you and knowing what to do. So that's a concern for a buyer. She sees that, there's some limitations with your product. She can't proceed. The final one is pricing. Now, I understand you're a small company. You do not have the luxury of having the best pricing possible, but did you know that there's a lot of workarounds around that? There are so many ways that you can get a buyer to pay attention to your product, even if it's a little bit expensive now. The reason I say this is because don't quit with retailers just because they're saying your pricing is way off. There are people out there who can help you figure out your pricing issue. And some of it just has to require some effort of yours. Some people are literally putting products into the world, and if no one wants it, they move on to the next. But if you commit to that product and you say, I'm going to get this product into the store, a lot of times I've seen people get into stores, even if initially their pricing was way off. Again, there's always a strategy and a workaround. And what I've seen people do is quit way too soon and not get some support with their existing product, which I never understood, because if you spend all that time getting the product shipped, testing it, all the things, packaging it, whatever it is that you've built so far, figured out your manufacturing, all this stuff, I mean, that's a lot of effort. Finish it. Don't walk away from a product just because some people are saying that your pricing is too high. There's ways to fix that. I've seen it time and time again. A lot of times it's really that you're just quitting too soon. You just got to find another manufacturer, or there are ways to say it to a buyer to get her ultimately interested in your product. And so she might not be calling you back because your pricing is generally outlandish. And some of it is market research, that you just don't understand the market as a whole. And when you're talking to a buyer about your pricing, it just seems a little bit ridiculous to the buyer. And that's stuff that we can assist with. Anyways, if you like this information, please like, subscribe, comment below. We appreciate you. Also, take a look at the next video available to you in regards to going after chain stores. We have so much amazing content. I think so anyways. And also, if you want to learn how to approach, pitch, and sell to retailers, we have a free training system. If you go to retailmba.com, there's buttons available to you to take a look at our free workshops. There's much more in-depth information. We have live events, we have coaching programs, we have done-for-you services. We've been helping people for the last 13 years get into chain stores, and you can take a look at our testimonials and see how successful we've been with people. So this is Karen Waksman, Retail MBA. Hope it helped.